Recently, the legendary Peter McKinnon just announced his very first camera backpack on Kickstarter, where he collaborated with NOMATIC, the camera pack, Peter McKinnon by NOMATIC. I had a look at this bag and it looks awesome, and to be honest, I'm actually quite excited for it. And that's purely because when a photographer creates a backpack, they generally know what most photographers' pain points are, and so they know how to issue these problems. Kind of like Peak Design, when they make a backpack, when they make a product, they know how to make it really work well for photographers and content creators on a daily basis. I was deciding whether I should invest into a camera bag because I am on a market for one. And to be honest, this bag looks like it can do everything. I was looking for a backpack that I can bring to shoots where I can carry about 2 camera bodies and maybe a few more lenses afterwards, and microphones and all the other stuff. But at the same time, I also want a bag that I can bring on holidays where I can just carry one body, one lens or 2, and whatever I need for that trip, like water bottles, jumpers, and my shopping stuff. Believe me, it wasn't easy. Every single bag that I got was not up to scratch. Things that will only do certain things well, but won't do anything else afterwards. For example, if you're looking for a hiking bag that can carry camera stuff, that bag is literally just really good for hiking. You can have water bottles in there, you can have a water bladder in there, and a few cameras. And obviously, because it can only fit one camera body in there, I can't bring it on to professional shoots. And if I am looking for a camera bag that can be used for professional shoots, where I can carry a lot of camera stuff, I actually don't have enough space to carry all my other things as well. So it's a bit odd. So this bag seems like it can do everything. But then a few weeks later, I stumbled across another Kickstarter project for a camera bag as well. This one was called the OneMo backpack from PGY Tech. I had a look at this bag because it looked really interesting, and the first thing I thought of was this is actually very similar to Peter McKinnon's bag, but not exactly the same obviously, but very similar. So I couldn't help myself but to compare these bags with each other. So this video is about the Kickstarter war for camera backpacks. We're going to have a look at both bags and see how they compare with each other. But do take everything I say with a grain of salt because I obviously was not sponsored by anyone to talk about any of these bags. So everything I say here is based on the internet and what I can dig out in the last few days. So let's get started. First off, dimensions. Peter McKinnon bag, you can tell right away, is going to be much bigger. It is sitting at 32 liters and it can expand up to a whopping 45 liters. This is huge compared to a lot of bags I've been using. So you'll have plenty of space to carry all your camera gear, whether it's going to be for professional shoots or just going on a one-day shoot and you're traveling on a plane. So the dimension of this bag is sitting at 22 inches tall, 13.5 inches wide, and 9 inches thick. Whereas the PGY bag is much smaller. It's sitting at 25 liters and it can expand up to 30 liters or 35 liters. They're not very clear on that on the website, on the Kickstarter website at least anyway. With this bag, you can probably fit 2 bodies in there. Camera bodies and maybe a few lenses. And you probably have enough space to put some clothes in as well. And the dimension for this bag, according to the Kickstarter website, it is sitting at 48 centimeters by 32 centimeters by 25 centimeters, which is 19 inches by 12.5 inches by 10 inches. Both bags are small enough to be used in carry-ons when you're flying on planes. So you can use these bags for 1-day flights or 2-day flights. Maybe for the Peter McKinnon's one, you can probably use it for more than that, like up to 3 to 5 days. Whereas the PGY, I'm sure you won't be able to fit a lot of clothes in there. So if you're anything like me, where your clothes are pretty big because you're a tall person, you'll probably just be able to fit maybe a pair or 2 pairs of pants, 2 shirts, and maybe a few pairs of underwears. But you're not going to be able to fit a lot compared to the Peter McKinnon one. As for laptop storage, both bags have enough space to fit a 15-inch laptop. Peter McKinnon's laptop compartment is external, so it sits outside of the main compartment. So you don't need to open up the whole entire bag to reach for your laptop. Whereas the PGY one is very similar. It sits at the back as well, like the Peter McKinnon one. But however, the compartment for this is inside the larger compartment, so you have to open up the whole entire bag to reach it, or you can just open the top part of it. Nonetheless, you still need to open the massive compartment to reach the laptop. So compartments, both bag has a lot of compartments and it's going to be very difficult for me to name them all in this video. I'm just going to be highlighting some of the very unique ones for both of these camera bags. So here are some of the compartments that the Peter McKinnon's one might be a little bit different from the other one. So obviously it has a water bottle compartment, that's actually quite ordinary actually. You can use that pocket to store tripods. Some of the very unique things about this bag is that it has a lot of organizing pockets to fit in battery packs, hard drives, and batteries as well. You can use them to fit clothes as well. And it also has this very unique thing about it, which is the compression strap. You can use this compression strap to actually compress your clothing when you're carrying a lot of clothes in your bag. So that's something different that you won't find in a lot of other bags as well. The bag also has a mesh zipper, which I mentioned earlier. You can use it to store hard drives, power banks, chargers, adapters, whatever you want really. And you get some really large ones where you can actually store larger items as well, like a laptop charger. Whereas the PGY bag has some really different compartments, such as a dedicated pocket for individual batteries, where you can actually mark a battery whether it's fresh or used already. One side of the pocket has an RDF protected pocket where you can store credit cards and your passport, whatever it is, and it'll be protected from people swiping your cards. But to be honest, I don't think I'll be using this pocket very much for security reasons, especially when I'm traveling. I don't see myself having my wallet in my backpack. On the other side of the backpack, there is another pocket, and it has a mesh pocket as well as some elastic bands on it. They say you can use this to store a power bank, and then those elastic bands to carry cables for the power bank or for any other charging things, which is actually pretty cool. I never actually thought of that, but you know, it's actually something that I would never actually have a bag that actually has this kind of stuff, but I guess it's pretty cool. One thing that this bag also has that the Peter McKinnon bag doesn't have is a pocket on the straps. I have a few bags that actually have pockets on the straps, and it has been quite useful to carry, just having quick access to batteries or memory cards when I'm on shoots. And you can fit very small things in it. You can fit keys in there if you want, but obviously keys will probably be in my pockets, so I'll probably be using it to store batteries. Another cool thing about this bag is on the other strap, you have two elastic bands that can hold lens caps, and I don't actually know whether I'll use it because I don't know how secure it's going to be. If I am running around, will the camera lid or cap just fall off? And what happens if my camera lid is probably smaller? Will it come out? So these are things that I don't know whether I'll use, but it is there. If it does work, then it works. If it doesn't work, I don't think I'll be too upset about it, to be honest. But it is cool that they did think of that, but let's see how it goes. As far as strap goes, both bags has removable waist straps. The main difference between these two camera bags is that Peter McKinnon's one seems to be more padded, so it should be more comfortable to wear for a longer period of time. If you're going on long hikes, if you're doing long shoots, if you're going on a trek really, whatever it is, it will be more comfortable. The PGY one doesn't have pads on it at all. It's just a strap that goes around your waist. So definitely Peter McKinnon's bag will be more comfortable to wear. However, I don't know how bad it's going to be with this bag with just the strap. But at the end of the day, this bag is smaller, so you're not going to be able to carry a lot of weight in it. I'm guessing having the strap not padded might not be a big deal. We'll see when the products comes out. They are both made out of water-resistant materials, and they all seem to be, in a way, splash-proof. So if someone just throws a bottle of water at you, chances are it will just splash off and your bag and your camera gear should be fine. Both bags provide raincoats to cover the bag. That way both your camera and your bag will be dry, and all you need to do is just dry the raincoat afterwards. Customizability. Both bags seem to be very even when it comes to customization. Both bags comes with plenty of partitions to separate your camera gear from one another, your lens from each other, so you don't knock them against each other when you're walking, hiking, when you're running around. Really main difference between the Peter McKinnon's one and the PGY is that PGY seems to have this really large partition that goes across it from one side to the other, right in the middle of the bag, and that actually splits the camera bag into halves, into the top and bottom. I'm not sure whether you can remove this or not. Some say you can, and another person I've heard that you can fold it in. So I'm not exactly sure how that goes, but apparently you can turn it into one massive compartment or have it split into two halves. So we'll see when the camera bag actually comes out. When you're traveling a lot, your camera and your bag needs to have some really good security. Otherwise, your camera stuff is just gonna get stolen. So as far as security goes for both of these bags, they both have this feature called anti-theft loops, where you put your zip heads through this loop to prevent people from unzipping it really, really quickly or easily to begin with. But as mentioned before, PGY does have this pocket that is RFID protected. So access point. Both camera bags has quick and easy access to camera from the side of the bag. It is usually on the left side. Good thing is I personally like the access to be on the right side. So when I sling it on my right shoulder, I am able to access it with my left hand, hold it with my left hand and unzip it with my right hand. That seems to work well for me. For some reason, I don't know why, but a lot of camera bags are on the left side and I find that to be very awkward to operate. But for both of these bags, the main difference is that Peter McKinnon's one only has one access point to the camera on the right side, which is just at the bottom of the bag. PGY for some reason has two, actually no, not for some reason, but PGY has two access points, so one at the top and one at the bottom. Now both bags has very similar approach to carrying tripods, like a lot of other bags to be honest. I'm using the bottle pocket and a strap to strap on the tripod within the pocket. That's pretty much what both of them does as well. Handles are important for travel bags because you want to be able to grip your bag in many different positions, so you can pull it out from overhead compartments when you're on a plane or when your bag is in the bottom of the trunk. You'll be able to pull it out with different handles. Both bag has a lot of these covered, to be honest. Peter McKinnon's one has 4 handles, one at the top, one at the bottom, and left and right side. So pretty much every single angle you'll be able to find a handle to pull your bag or to carry your bag with. PGY, on the other hand, only has 3. And they're not in the same position as a Peter McKinnon's one. The 3 handles are one's on the top, one's on the left side, and the other one is in the center of the back. It's probably a weird place to put a handle, but it might work for some people. But this handle can also double up as a luggage handle pass-through for traveling. So you can put your camera bag on top of a luggage and the handle of the luggage can actually goes right through and you can secure it from there. That's something pretty cool. But Peter McKinnon's one doesn't have a handle in the middle of the bag, but what it does have is also a luggage handle pass through as well. It pretty much just sits at the back of the bag like most other bags. You can, it does the same thing really. Expandable storage. This is actually something that's quite interesting for both bags because they both have really interesting way of approaching this. Peter McKinnon's bag can actually expand the bag up to 7 liters. So from 35 liter backpack to a 42 liter backpack, which is really, really big, is an expansion of up to 7 liters. The difference between these two bags is Peter McKinnon's one actually extrudes out, so you can actually expand the whole entire section. Whereas the PGY, on the other hand, comes in a compact 25 liter apparently, and it can expand to 35 liters. I'm not exactly sure how that sounds, but apparently that's what it does. Unlike the Peter McKinnon's one, it doesn't expand a compartment. You actually open up a new compartment, if that makes sense. If you don't want the expansion, you actually don't get to use this bag at this compartment. But if you do want this expansion, you have to open up a new compartment, if that makes sense. Whereas Peter McKinnon's one is the compartment is already there, and if you want more space, you can expand that. Extra storages. You have the option to add other pouches or cases, whatever it is you need to organize your gear in these bags. The cube from Peter McKinnon's is a 7 liters and it goes up to 21 liters. So it's pretty big for just a little backpack that you can carry around within your backpack. PGY one has a built-in pouch that can be removed from the bag as well. It stands alone as a pouch, which can protect and pad all your dividers and all that stuff in your bag. But what it does is it can also expand as well. So it can be used as a messenger bag. Or you can also use it as a fanny pack. So you can actually use a waist strap and use that as a belt that you can wrap around your waist and then attach the cube to that. The good thing about this is you can actually wear the backpack and this messenger bag along the side. So you can actually have both compartments to utilize space. Whereas the Peter McKinnon's one is you're not going to be wearing a backpack and another backpack. So I guess that's the drawback between them. But nonetheless, I still find that Peter McKinnon's backpack with that little cube is a great idea. And finally, what is the price for these two bags? Peter McKinnon's backpack itself starts up as $299 and it's planning to sell at the shops at $399. Quite expensive to be honest. And if you want the backpack with the cube, at Kickstarter it is going at $398. And if you want the lot where it comes with the camera backpack, the cube pack, the accessory case, the filter case, the memory card case, the battery case, all up, it is going to be a whopping $510. Whereas for the PGY bag, it is way more affordable. It is sitting at $109 at Kickstarter and it's planning to be selling at $169 at the shop. And if you want the pouch, it's going to be $149 at Kickstarter and $219 if it comes out into the shops. So the difference is here you might find that it is $510 for the bundle versus $149. That's pretty crazy in terms of pricing, but for a more comparative product, so the Peter McKinnon's backpack with the cube is going to be $398, and the PGY one, obviously I said before, is $149. Regardless, these two bags are in two different price ranges. In terms of build quality, I'm not exactly sure whether the PGY one will hold up against the Peter McKinnon's one. Depends on when the product comes out, right? Until I see it. So the conclusion is, honestly, it's really up to you on how much you want to spend on a backpack. It's your money and I'm not going to tell you how to spend it. But in saying that, I'm simply here to tell you what you're going to get with the backpack and how there is something else out there that might be similar or might not be. But it is an option or an alternative. I personally think the Peter McKinnon's backpack is amazing. It is overpriced. I'm pretty sure that you're getting what you paid for. PGY one seems to be a very high quality bag as far as I can see. I'm not familiar with the company's quality assurance and how they will do in the future. In saying that, I do see that PGY is doing some really awesome backpacks right now. I'm hoping that this bag goes well. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mix them up. I'm going to get the Peter McKinnon's cube pack and I'm going to get the PGY backpack itself. And then I'm going to merge them together. I'm going to replace that with the Peter McKinnon's cube pack. And that way I get the best of both worlds and I get the cube, which is really, really awesome. And I also get the compact, high quality bag from PGY. Hope this video helped you, and really honestly, what would you do if you're in my position? Would you want to just get all Peter McKinnon stuff or invest into something a little bit cheaper like the PGY bag, but also seems like a very good bag? So what would you do? And if you have bought a Peter McKinnon's bag, what pushed you over the edge to buy that bag? And if you're going for PGY, is there a reason why you went for PGY and not Peter McKinnon's bag, apart from it being cheaper?